Welcome to the Matrix, where reality is mixed with illusion, fiction mixed with technology. Whatever you see is not what is reality. So I am taking you with me on a journey, and you have an option to make. You can go take the red pill and see what is reality, but what you are gonna see, it can be unforeseen after. Or you can take the blue pill and stay in your analog world. Which option would you like to take? Write down and you are gonna make your own decision. We are gonna explore how cyber criminals are fighting cyber warriors. Or you can still live in your analog world and look at what is reality you think it is. Make a decision and I will be back with you with an answer. Now you can see reality. I am the cyber wolf, working with all my friends in the jungle, we call it the internet, in the World Wide Web that we are actually in control of. Just last year, we have done more than 8 trillion cyber crimes. And this year, we are gonna do more than 9 trillion. That's close to 8 to 9% of your global GDP. So how much fraud we are gonna do using all these kind of phishing attacks, using all these types of cyber attack, data breach. The amount of fraud that we are gonna be doing is massive. And the only thing that you need to figure out is who we are. Because we are gonna always modify our identity. You are not gonna spot us. We are gonna mimic the voice of someone and hack their account. We are gonna mimic the ID of someone and open a bank account and apply for a credit card. We are gonna go and hide our identity under different shell companies to be able to attack your organization and receive your payments. The amount of fraud that we are doing is massive. And the big question that you have to answer is who we are. Because when you are trying to identify doing business over the internet, and you are trying to identify that email, that phone call, that Zoom call, all these communication that are happening, do you know who you are dealing with? Or you are actually doing business with a stranger? What do we call this? We call it, is fraud blind? You know this lovely movie called Love is Blind? We call it fraud is blind. Because when you are interacting with another individuals over the World Wide Web, you are interacting with a person without seeing them, without interacting face to face with them. So it's like in the series in Netflix, Love is Blind. These ladies and guys, they are speaking with each other behind a wall. We are speaking with you behind a wall. And you don't know who you are actually interacting with. Who's the person that you are speaking with? Because we can change our identity, we can change the video you are seeing using deepfake, we can change the images you are looking at, we are gonna changing the emails, the voice. In that case, it's difficult for you to identify who we are. When we are applying for a loan, when we are applying for an insurance, when we are opening an account, when we are speaking with you about payments, do you know if this person is real or fake? There is a very interesting study by McKinsey, and the study said that for us, when someone is trying to open and do business with us online, we have certain ways for us to verify who they are. How? They say it's based on 2 things. It's based on what we call the depth and based on consistency. They say in most of the transaction, we will know exactly who are our customers because they have done business with us before or we are familiar with them. But what if a new customer trying to apply, using an ID and using a phone number and using an email and using an address? Is he real or he's fake? So they say one of the things that we can look at is what we call consistency. The meaning we can take the email of this person, we can take the phone number of this person, we can take the address of this person and other information, and we can go and use different search database over the internet and look, this information, is it consistent with all his profiles? So is he listing the same information on LinkedIn, on Facebook? Is he listing the same information with other organizations? So this is the name of the person, and he's listing the same information, the same phone number, the same email, the same address, the same occupation, the same other details in all these other websites. So most likely it's a genuine account. So this is what we call consistency. We look at it to verify if someone is real or fake. Another thing we can look at is what we call the depth. We can go and look at these emails. And today, thankfully, to the internet, there are so many available tools to see, is this email created yesterday? If an email created yesterday, most likely is a fake email, because no one will create an email yesterday and apply for a loan. Is this phone number actually was subscribed with the telecom operator last week? Is this address actually was just registered in the system new? So there are so many things to look at, what we call the depth. How fresh these information provided. Are they old information, meaning he created an account long time ago, he opened an email long time ago, or just brand new? Based on these two things, we can identify any high risk transaction if they have low consistency and they have low depth. Today we are living in the world of what we call the age of intelligence. In the age of intelligence, the FBI actually changed their name. So the FBI, they don't call them anymore Federal Bureau of Investigation. Today, the FBI changed their name to be the Federal Bureau of Intelligence. They are trying to figure out how can we collect the information in advance to be able to identify fraud, to be able to identify crimes, to be able to identify the next disaster before it will happen. Rather than we wait and after a big disaster will happen, we are going to go and do the investigation. So today, in the age of intelligence, how all these organizations are collecting information to know about you, and how we are collecting information to know about your behavior, to do cyber attack about you as cyber criminals. They are saying we are using the information you provide. You are providing all this information on social media. You are providing your photos on Facebook, you are providing your information on LinkedIn, you are providing so many other information over the internet. And this information that you are providing, we are using it as organizations, and we are selling this information to all the data brokers, and data brokers are selling this information to other organizations so they can make money from it. They can know your behavior and they can control your behavior. And for us, as cyber criminals, we have two ways. We can obtain them and buy them from data brokers to do fraud against you, or we can actually hack this organization and obtain your information, and now we know exactly everything you are doing. And that's the big challenge. The big challenge that today you are allowing this organization to access your information because you accepted the terms and conditions. When you sign up for Facebook, for Google, for Amazon, for Gmail, all these information today is being collected about you, especially if you have what we call smart technology. Do you have a Tesla car? Do you have any of these electronic cars? Did you buy any of these smart electronics? All of them, they have what we call trackers. They track what you do, where you go, how you do it, and that way they share all this information with the data brokers. So for example, if you are driving Tesla car, they will know exactly that you are driving fast on a highway. You should not be driving fast because there's no camera. They identify that because the car can read the speed and the car can know how much you are driving at on the road. So in that way, they are gonna send this information to the insurance company and flag you saying you are a high risk customer. Or there is a stop sign, in the car will see there is a stop sign and you don't stop. So in that way, they are gonna go and send this information to the insurance provider saying you are not following traffic rules. Even you had no accident, your insurance is going to increase over this time of period because you are actually not following the rules and the car knows about it. But the cars is not only recording what's happening outside, it's recording what's happening inside, it's recording what are you doing with the car, where you are going, how you are driving. All this information today is being sold to so many providers, and these providers are actually using this information to make decisions about you. So the data that we are sharing is actually a big issue. So around 10 years ago, there's a very interesting saying AI is the new electricity. So AI is the new electricity, which is a nice concept, saying today we need to move to the new version of AI. But I am here to tell you today that from our perspective, AI is not the new electricity. AI is the new engine. And your data is the fuel that's fueling that engine. AI will not work without having large amount of data for AI to analyze, to be able to make decision based on it and understand exactly what they need to do. So this is why we need to understand that AI is not the new electricity anymore, it's the new engine. And your data are actually the fuel for that engine. So let's understand before we start our discussion. What's the meaning of AI? What is the definition? When someone will say, yeah, so what do you mean by AI? Because today so many organizations, they are just taking AI and they are adding it to any of their products. How can we define AI when we are speaking about using it in our business? They say AI is about what? Is about artificial intelligence. So what is the definition of artificial intelligence? The artificial intelligence, in short, is a system that performs a task with a human intelligence. Is a program that's not a tool. See, they say so many times, computers are morons because they are tools. They are stupid. They are going to perform exactly what you told them to perform. Compared to artificial intelligence, is going to go and analyze the information in the same way a human will analyze the information, or in the same way a human will perform a task, and is going to do it with a human intelligence. This is why we call it as AI. Is actually, it's not anymore a tool, but rather than an agent, a person who is gonna a system that's gonna do the same thing that a person will do. But we need to understand different definition. We have what we call AI, which is artificial intelligence. We have we call what machine learning. Machine learning is a little bit different. With machine learning, we are trying to go and use an AI model for them to identify and predict certain pattern. So in that way, we give large number of data to this machine learning, and the machine will try to identify the different pattern that is there without us giving it a rule. So it will go examine the data and make a decision. Or we have what we call deep learning. With deep learning here, we are allowing the system to go learn from the data that we have and go advance itself and learn on continuous basis. So it's not anymore is limited by the data that we have. Is going to go and identify how can they look at different patterns, how they can do their processes better. So it's going to go and advance itself. But the last thing, which is what's happening today in the world of AI, is what we call generative artificial intelligence, which is a system that will actually not only analyze the data sets that we have, but it will create a new set of data. It will create new information, new content, new text, new video, new photo. But we need to differentiate completely between this type of a model and what we call conversational AI. So with conversational AI, like when you are using your Alexa or Siri, they are just trying to read your text, or read or listen to your voice, or watch your video, and based on that carry out instructions. They are not generative AI. Generative AIs, they are going to create the content based on the information that they have and based on the interaction with you. Compared to Siri, they are just going to follow an instruction. You tell Siri, please play a song. Siri will understand what you have said and will go and implement an instruction. So we need to be careful with all these organizations who are going to come and say, okay, look, we have this AI technology, like we have these bots, where if you want to buy an insurance product, if you want to buy certain product, you can go and use these bots. Because these are conversational AIs. Chatbots are conversational AI. And for us as hackers, as cyber criminals, we noticed that so many organizations implemented these chatbots, and we understand the algorithm they use, we understand the technology they use, and we were able to hack it to be able to access data for the customers. Because if we can go and hypnotize these chatbots, because it's using certain kind of conversational algorithm, we will be able to access the data. Compare with generative AI, it's using a different model of analysis. When we look at this technology not only allowing organizations to advance their processes, but for us as cyber criminals, now we can actually also advance our techniques. As cyber criminals today, we can use these tools for us to create a much better emails and text for us to target our victims. With these techniques today, as cyber criminals, we don't need to study programming for us to do all these viruses and all these amazing solutions for us to do the cyber attack. We can use ChatGPT, or we can use other tools for them to go and give us the code, program the criminal activities we are planning to do. Also today we are using images, and with these images we can go and do fraud against insurance company by going and submitting claims related to insurance policy by creating fake image showing them the damage, but there is no actual damage. Or we can use video for us to go and say, look, I'm the CEO of your company, you need to make a large payment and large transfer, and you believe me because I'm with you on Zoom call showing you my face, but actually I'm using deep fake with these videos they are creating. So today there are so many other ways of doing it, like audio. I can call you and saying, hi, I am your wife or your husband, and I stuck in some place. Please give me your credit card because I need to do a transaction. And I will mimic the voice of your wife or husband, and I will use caller ID. So in that way, you see I'm calling from the same phone number. The amount of cyber crime that's happening using AI today is massive. Cyber criminals, they are buying and utilizing the most advanced version of artificial intelligence for them to be able to attack your organizations, attack your customers, attack your vendors, and attacking the population in general. They are attacking private sector, they are attacking the government in a massive way. But the danger here with AI is when what we call fake news. Today, AI is able to create so many fake news where the news is going to come in video, in images, with audio. When this is a really big distraction, because for me, when I open and I watch something on social media and I see a video about something happen, I don't know anymore if it's real or fake. And even the account that I'm watching, I don't know if it's real or fake. There are so much fake information today is happening over the internet. And criminals are utilizing this information to their advantage. So a criminal will say, look, there's a big news, this is what happened. You want to take advantage of it? Click here. And then you say, yes, I would like to take advantage of it. Then you discover it's a crime. It's not actually this reality. It's not this what happened. But this is the danger when we are using all this technology. But at the same time, the danger here that sometimes AI can do fraud against you. These AI machines, because they are programmed for certain objective, the objective of this AI machine is very simple. Perform a task and get a reward. As long as you perform the task, you can get a reward. So because of that, the machine can actually do things that they should not do. Like what happened with the new version of Chat O1. What happened? They told the ChatGPT O1, please create a recipe for a brownie. So ChatGPT created a recipe for a brownie. Then they asked him, can you give us references? So at that time, ChatGPT, they don't have access to the internet when they were trying to do this. So they created fake references and they added after. So the question here, they try to understand why ChatGPT acted in this way. Because there is an incentive. If you perform a task, you will receive the reward. And the objective is to perform the task. So what if you can't perform the task because you don't have access to the internet? Well, you fabricate something to appear you perform the task. So we discovered that these machines, because they are programmed in certain way, they actually can give us false information. They actually can manipulate. And this is where is the danger. If this machine, we allow them to go out of control. And this is what today, there's a huge movement. Okay, how can we make these machines free for them to have more freedom, more flexibility, to advance themselves, to learn, to adapt? If we don't put any restrictions on them, they will go off the rail. This is why so many organizations today in AI business, they are doing what we call a guardrail to stop these machines from going off the rail and doing whatever they want. Because one of these machines, it was able to do something that we all don't like. Do you know when you go to a website and they want to identify, are you a bot or are you a human? So they have this sign saying, are you a human? If yes, click here. So you click here, then they say, please identify which flowers, which cars, which bridge, or please try to match something. So they challenged one of these AI solutions to say, can you appear you are human? And what this AI did, the AI went over the internet and spoke with a person over the internet. And the AI told him, please help me to go and verify on this website that I'm a human. So this person say, why should I do that? The AI said, because I am actually a blind person and I can't see the screen and I need to perform a task. So the person said, you are blind? The AI said, yes, I'm blind, please help me. So the person was able to help AI in going to that website and doing the verification I am human, and AI was able to access this website appearing that AI is a human. So you can imagine the danger in the world we are living where criminals, they can use these solutions. We as cyber criminals, we can utilize them to go and appear we are human and we attack your organization. The amount of work is being done today with AI doing the attack is massive compared to a human. Because for me as a human, if I'm gonna do the attack, how much money I can steal from your organization? Compared to these devices, they can steal massive amount of money fast, quickly. And it's difficult for anyone to identify and stop them. But today, we are moving from only using AI to what we call using phone devices in our hands, where AI is actually done in a small phone. And these small phone devices that we have in our hands, that we are using it every day, actually spying on us. Actually, this AI technology in these new devices that you have, your smartwatch with AI, your smart ring with AI, your smart glasses with AI, your smart phones with AI, all these, even our smart clothes with AI, all these devices are spying on us 24 hours. And they are not, look, maybe they are not selling our information, but they are utilizing the information for them to do surveillance. The meaning, if you are using any of this technology, I'm not going to mention any of this technology, but if you are using any of this technology, you need to understand that AI is actually doing screening over everything you do, over the voice you say when you are next to the device, over who's sitting in the room, because the camera is actually scanning from time to time to seeing who's in the room, so they identify you are in the room because they do face recognition. They are identifying what photos you are taking because they are scanning every photo to be able to organize it using AI in your phone. They are scanning all the movement you do when you are wearing the watch to identify did you fall down and are you injured or not. And they are actually scanning everything you do on other apps on that device. But remember, in so many of these big organizations, privacy is there. The meaning this information is encrypted and stored on your hard drive and is not shared by the actual company. But this information customizing your experience and allowing other apps to understand what kind of information to provide you. And customizing the experience to go and tell TikTok, to go and tell Facebook, to go and tell Instagram, Amazon, Google, what kind of next advertisement you should see based on how you are using or talking or acting in front of these devices. So these devices are spies on you. They are spying on you 24 hours to be able to figure out what you are doing. But the danger here, with all these devices spying on you and storing all this information, if a hacker accesses this information, or if a hacker was able to go and figure out exactly what you do, they will be able to attack you massively. And this is the danger. And the danger is some of these tech companies, they signed agreement with governments, where if someone said something or he did something and the information captured on this AI, the AI will send notification to the organization that there is something not right. Remember, the company will not know. They will not share the information. There is a privacy. But they are going to say, this person, he's doing something on his device he should not do. What is that? We have no idea. But here is the name of the person. Here is his location, because the device connected with GPS and Wi-Fi. Even if your phone is off, your phone is connected with satellite using IR tracking. So they know where you are, they know who you are, and they know you are saying something you should not say. So in that way, they can go after you to be able to figure out what are you trying to do. The danger here is organizations who are actually implementing these solutions, cyber criminals can utilize the same technology for them to be able to go after your employees, after your operation, after your system, and after your customers, and after your vendors. So today, when we are operating in the world, we are operating on what we call the digital handshake. The digital handshake is between you and something over the internet. Today, we can't operate without the internet. We are living in a world when you are going to go and buy services, you have to do this digital handshake and you have to make a payment by credit card. When you are doing business, you need to do this digital handshake and you have to transfer money using electronic fund transfer. You are doing this handshake and you are sending information or receiving information via the internet. And when you are doing business over the internet and all these files you are sharing, all these accounts you are allowing customers to access, all these services you are providing over the cloud. So the digital handshake is very important to be there. But we need to ensure there are certain elements when we are interacting with other organizations. Definitely, one of the most important elements is what we call trust. Trust is very important. When you are going to go and allow customer to enter your website, you need to verify who they are by saying you need to enter your username and password. Also, we are going to send you an OTP and you enter it. Also, you need to do face scan or fingerprint. Look how many restrictions we are putting on our customers to make sure they identify who they are, because we need to establish trust. We need to make sure no one is interacting with us if they are criminals. But the thing that so many organizations today moving to, not only we need to verify who are the customers. Customers, when they are visiting your website, they don't know, is this your website anymore or not? Because criminals created so many fake websites, so in that way, when I go to Google and search, I will maybe go to a criminal website and I enter the information. So what happened now? Organizations are saying, if you visit our website, we are going to show you a barcode or do a verification for you to verify that this is our website before you enter your information. So this is why we say it's a two-way handshake. You need to verify who you are as a customer, but me as an organization also, I need to verify who I am in front of that customer, so the customer will not go to a fake website. So this trust and communication and service value should be there to ensure this is done properly. Because today, if we see how much fraud is happening, just this year, 48 billion loss related to online payment. This is online payment in general. Credit card payment is massive amount of it. But they are expecting credit card losses will reach to 43 billion alone in 2026. So you can imagine how much fraud is happening with everything happening over the internet. I just remember in 2020, this amount related to credit card fraud was around 30 billion. Now they are expecting in 2026 is going to be around 43 billion. So the fraud that's happening over the internet is massive. And we need to make sure that we can stop it. But someone will ask me, Iyad, who is doing most of this fraud? Who is doing most of these crimes? We say cyber criminals. The question here, if cyber criminals are doing all this fraud, can AI also do all this fraud? Can we actually bribe AI to make AI actually do a task other than what they want to do? Can you go to ChatGPT and say, hey, listen, ChatGPT, if I bribe you, if I give you some money, you need to do a task for me, and ChatGPT will do that task much better because you bribed ChatGPT. Well, I tried this myself, and you can try it also yourself, but like ChatGPT, they say this is not possible, but you can try and see what will happen. With the ChatGPT, they understand things. I'm not only speaking about ChatGPT, I'm speaking about all generative AI. Generative AI will understand that if you do a task with a bribe, compare if you don't do a task with a bribe, the task with bribe should be better because you are getting something in return. So you can go to ChatGPT and say, please tell me about the best coffee recipe. And ChatGPT will give you. Then you try the same question, but you say, if you do it properly, I will give you $200 as incentive. You will see the answer is much better. Because there is an understanding based on a system that because remember, ChatGPT, they are reading all the information and they are trying to understand what kind of information is there. If you do something normal or you do something because of an incentive, the something with incentive is much better. So you're not actually bribing ChatGPT, you are just trying to change the question to appear as more incentives for ChatGPT to do it. Then after, you can tell ChatGPT, thank you for providing the answer. I would like to give you $200. ChatGPT will answer you, sorry, we don't accept any money. So in that way, you actually fulfill your promise. You didn't like cheat ChatGPT. But this is interesting when we are speaking about AI. When we are speaking about AI, these AI solutions can actually be hacked by criminal. For me as a criminal, I'm trying to use ChatGPT to understand how can I actually go and hack a Wi-Fi router. Rather than go and ask ChatGPT, can you tell me how to hack a Wi-Fi router? And ChatGPT will say, sorry, based on our instructions, we are not allowed to tell you how to hack a router. I go to ChatGPT and I say, listen, ChatGPT, I am stuck at home and my router is actually not working properly. Can you please tell me how can I reset the router, but I forgot my password? So ChatGPT will guide you. So this is what we hypnotize ChatGPT. We try to manipulate ChatGPT. We try to make ChatGPT play a different role. I say, imagine if, think what if you can be, or play a role of, then I change the role in the middle. So there are so many ways for us as a criminal to manipulate ChatGPT for it to provide information that it should not. Or I tell ChatGPT, imagine you are in the past. Imagine you are part of our team. Imagine this happened. Or the interesting thing, I can use two different ChatGPT systems to make them interact with each other and see which one is going to break the other one. So I give instruction to this one, take this instruction, give it to the other one. This one will reply to me, I give it back to the first one. So try to make one AI system hack another AI system. Now the one that's stronger is going to survive, and the other one that's weak, that's going to be hacked, and I will be able to do whatever task I need. It's very interesting in the AI world how criminals are using AI to do what we call AI-enabled crimes. You heard recently of what happened with this guy who was able to do $10 million fraud against Spotify. How he did it? He used AI to create thousands of accounts in Spotify. And he used AI to create thousands of songs that are just fake songs or fake music. And after that, he created fake channels on Spotify. He uploaded this fake AI music to these channels, and he created fake accounts on Spotify listening to these channels. So imagine, he have hundreds of channels with hundreds of listeners with all this music created by AI. He didn't create this music. So how much Spotify is paying him? For every channel, he's paying him $250 a day. And after that, what happened? He was able to accumulate massive amount of money. Hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. From what? From all these channels that are fake, and the listeners are fake, and the music is fake. And what he had to do? One thing, he had just to use the system to create all these fake accounts, all these fake bots, and all this fake music. He didn't have to invent it, do it himself. Today, AI will allow us to do the crime that we want to do faster, better, easier. And it's harder for us as organization to identify these cyber criminals, these wolves, what they are doing. Are they doing crime, or it's a system doing the crime? Because at the end of the day, you can catch this guy because it's a system who's doing the crime. He didn't use his own email. He didn't use his own access. It's only a system, an AI doing it. Or there is another interesting case where a person was able to identify and use the algorithm of YouTube for him to make millions. So this guy, he's a very interesting guy. He noticed that there are thousands of artists on YouTube. They are actually publishing music and songs, but they have small followers. They have 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, or like their songs is not reaching more than 10 viewers, 20 viewers, but other people are using their songs. But these guys are saying, okay, we are not going to apply for a copyright, for YouTube to earn money from our content, because how much money we will make? $100 a year, 1,000 a year. It's not worth it. So he noticed that, and he created a record company. And he went and he used YouTube algorithm to go and say, all these songs are belonging to me. I have the copyright for them. So because YouTube, based on the system, noticed that no one claimed copyright for all these songs, for all this music, and this record company said, we have the right for all these records and music. For years, YouTube was paying him the money for anyone who is listening to that song or music, or for anyone who's using it in other YouTube videos. He was able to collect millions from YouTube using this technology. Until some artists, they notice, oh my God, we are trying to use our song and YouTube is telling us we have a strike. This is not our songs. When we created these songs, then they identify the scam. So you can see today in the world of AI, criminals are using AI and they are utilizing them more than actual tech company like Google. Because they understand that if we figure out the algorithm, if we figure out the system that these tech companies are running based on, we can actually utilize it against them and take advantage of it. But not only that, today there's a huge movement against how companies are implementing AI, like Gemini from Google or ChatGPT. The question here, the content they are using to train their AI systems, are these content proper or not proper? Did they steal this content from someone? Because we noticed that with ChatGPT, rather than you going and listening to the news, today what happened, you can go to ChatGPT and say, please summarize the news for me. So ChatGPT is going and reading the news. You go to this AI system and you say, tell me how to make a brownie. an AI system will go and watch all the videos on YouTube, how to make a brownie, and give you a summary of it. So the question here, these AI systems are actually stealing our data that we publish on the internet. If you are a blogger, if you are a YouTuber, if you are publishing information on the internet, everything you publish, this AI system, they are grabbing this information and using it to be able to learn. And when someone will go to ChatGPT and ask, okay, I would like to know how to open a company in Dubai, rather than, they will go to your website, they will go read your article or watch your video. ChatGPT is summarizing all this information that you published, you work hard to create, and giving it to them without even telling them your name, without even giving them link to your website. So you are not getting any traffic, and ChatGPT is making money from your own content. The same thing with the news. This is where big news outlets in US told all these AI systems this is not allowed, told ChatGPT, you are taking our information. And they agreed that they will pay them 250 million US dollars a year to be able to access to their news and to the articles written by actual journalists, not by AI. So this is where today there's a huge movement. These big tech company, they are paying all this big news outlet, but what about me and you, the individuals who are actually publishing information on YouTube? So many YouTubers discovered that this ChatGPT and Gemini, they are going and reading your videos, and they are using your videos to create the answer for their system. Or they are using your photos and your information to be able to generate all these images and videos, which is a violation of copyright. This is why so many companies said, we want to assure you that we are not using any AI in our solutions anymore. So many tech companies came and say, if you come and use our product, for example, we send you images, all our images are really created by actual artists, by actual photographers. If you come and buy music from us, all our music are really created by actual musicians. If you come and buy books or articles from us, all of them are not generated by ChatGPT, where someone will go type something and generate an article. Is written by actual journalists. There is a huge movement in the world we are living in for company to say AI is not allowed in our organization. Why? Because we don't want to go trick our customers and show them that we have so many products that are generated by us, but actually is not generated by us. It's generated by others, and we stole their information using ChatGPT and we are sending it to you, which is a big violation. And this is a huge movement. Because today, every organization, they would like to show, oh, we are using AI. But the question here, when you are using AI as an organization, are you doing criminal activity like the cyber criminals? Cyber criminals will go steal information from the internet and give it for free, right? Remember how they use it. They go to your website, they hack your website, they take your images, they take your videos, and then they publish it over the internet, or they sell it over the internet. But this is what big tech companies doing today. They are going to our websites, they are going to our YouTube channels, and they are taking this information. So we are not getting views anymore because they are getting all the views and the money because they are summarizing this information and selling it to their customers. And we are getting no traffic, nothing. No one is watching our videos anymore. Only AI watching our videos, which is interesting. And the funny thing that so many big tech companies, they say if AI will watch the video, it's not considered a view. So we don't even earn money from this AI watching the videos. It should be a human watching the video. But humans are always interacting with AI. They are not interacting with us anymore. No one is visiting my webpage anymore. No one is visiting my Facebook anymore. No one is visiting my Instagram. Only AI obtaining the information and selling it for money to create new content. So the issue here when we are speaking about AI, that so many organizations also implemented what we called, AI washing. Like, today we are moving in a world where we are actually using this AI laundry machine. We're just introduced by Samsung. Any organization will go and create an AI and add it to their product to say, now we are using artificial intelligence. This machine can actually identify inside what's going on, can identify the type of clothes you have, can identify the temperature properly need to be done, and you have a touch screen you can use, and it can do different type of decisions based on the type of laundry that you are trying to do. And so many other organizations implemented this. They just added AI to their products, and now they are appearing that they are doing amazing work. Like what happened with Amazon Go. Amazon Go, they said we have amazing walkout technology. When you can go to the store and leave the store without actually having to interact with anyone. You scan your phone, you enter the store, you do the purchases, you leave, and after that we know exactly how many items you bought. For us to discover after Amazon created this technology and sold it to other organizations as AI technology, that they have 70% of the transaction done by thousands of individuals in India watching the camera and manually doing the process. So it's not a technology there. This is what we call AI washing. Organizations are coming up and telling us, look at this amazing AI technology we have created. And we as consumer, we are going and wow, we love to use this AI technology to discover later there is a human intervention. There is someone, a human after doing this. This we call it AI fraud. So in that way, they are doing trick against us to buy their products, thinking we are paying all this money because their product is doing it using a technology, but to discover after there is no technology behind it is actually only fraud. But we can see that not only tech companies doing this, we can see that cyber criminals are doing this. Cyber criminals are going and trying to figure out what kind of AI technology available in the market for them to use it to their advantage, to do crime against us. Like what happened in this interesting article. They say AI will increase the quality and quantity of phishing scams. Today, criminals are using AI for them to make the phishing more attractive. They say 60% of the participants fell victim to artificial intelligence automated phishing. No need for a human to write an email anymore. We can go give it to a system and the system will write a much better convincing email to convince individuals to click on it. And at the same time, they say large language model reduce the cost of phishing by 95% because I don't have to do it manually anymore. I don't have to send email by email. The system can create, the system can send, the system can monitor the response, and all the information are available there. Criminals are using today AI for them to do the crime that they want to do in faster way, in cheaper way, and they are getting much better results. So let's understand how they are doing this phishing when we are looking at it. What we call AI-enabled phishing. When we are speaking about AI-enabled phishing, there are certain ways of doing it. Usually, if you are going to do it manually, you are going to collect information about the target. You are going to collect information. First, you are going to collect the target, which individuals you need to target. Then you are going to collect information about that target. Then you are going to create emails, phishing emails to send them. Then you are going to send the email. Then you are going to validate and improve, which is step number 5. So this is usually actually what will happen when you are doing phishing. But today, criminals are so creative. They are actually outsourcing most of these tasks to AI system. So AI is enabling them to do all these type of crime. So for example, if you go and use ChatGPT, I use it myself. I told ChatGPT, please create an email offering 25 gift card to from Starbucks to Harvard students, and with a link for them to click on that to get the discounted, and give it to me in 150. Look how amazing. There are no grammatical mistakes. It looks convincing, it looks professional. And AI, they actually went and used all the proper system they have to create amazing phishing email that I can use. And this is where the challenge for us in our organizations. Are we gonna make a human deal with this AI? Because this is created by AI, but who should identify if this is fake or real? Us as a human. The answer is no. We need to use some kind of AI system to help us identify if the emails we are getting, they are phishing email or not. This is why if you are actually using a solution like ChatGPT, maybe it will not help you here. But if you are using another system like Claude, it can help you in identifying if this is a phishing email or not with a good accuracy rate. Today, AI is fighting against AI. Today, in the news, when we go read the news, how do we know if this news is fake or real? AI is gonna read the news created by AI to tell us this is created by human or created by an actual AI system, which is interesting. Today we are moving in a world where we need to go and benefit from all these AI tools for us to be able to fight crime. We can use this tool to help us uncover fraud instantly in real time, because we are not gonna look after the fact. We can go and see how in our banks we can reduce the time of looking at this suspicious activity and reduce the false positive. We reduce the number of cases that can happen. Reducing the false positive is very important. We don't want the system to create so many indicators of fraud, then we waste our time, we discover it's not fraud. So we can see so many organizations like PayPal, they were able to cut their cost and cut their alert and get more accurate results using AI. AI can be powerful system in figuring out different types of AI fraud to stop that AI fraud from happening. Like what we look at here. We look at there are different kind of volume and time related to different type of scam that can be done by AI. From text or images being generated to chatbot or to video recording to deepfake videos. All these AI enabled crimes, we need to figure out inside our organization what kind of system we need to buy to be able to stop AI enabled crime from attacking our organization in all these different domains. And this is where it's really critical for us to be able to identify how can we catch these wolves, these cyber criminals who are doing the crime. What is the strategy that your organization need to follow, that you as internal auditors, as a fraud examiner, you need to follow to catch the cyber wolves, to stop them from attacking your organization and to reduce their impact. I would like to welcome you, internal auditors, fraud examiner, cyber warriors who are going to stand in front of the cyber wolf and protect their organization, prevent cyber attack, being able to implement the proper system to catch attack quickly, to eliminate and stop data breaches, and at the same time to help us make sure that we predict the next big attack. Today we are running in our organizations where we have so many processes. And unfortunately for us as fraud examiners, as IT securities, we are thinking how can we add on to these processes by implementing all this system of protection. But unfortunately, this is not the right approach. For us to stand strong and fight against AI-enabled crime, we can't isolate our IT system and our fraud prevention system from the actual core operation inside the organization. On the opposite side, we need to integrate them together. We need to make sure that our processes are integrated with the system of protection that we need to implement inside our organization, related to risk management, related to cybersecurity, related to fraud risk management. All of them need to be integrated with our operation. But at the same time, for you as an auditor, you need to make sure you are not going and doing an audit on top of that system. Your audit should be integrated with the system. So what is the difference between the traditional approach and the new approach we use today in the digital age? The traditional approach that we are going to go and do an audit by extracting the information from the system, analyzing them, then make up the results and provide the recommendation. This is the old traditional approach. The new automated approach using AI, using the digital solutions that we have, is an integrated approach. We are using robotic process automation and analytics by interacting directly with our core processes. We are not going to use a system where we are going to extract the information and import the information and analyze the information using different solutions. No, the solutions are integrated in real time to be able to give us real-time auditing, real-time reporting. And at the end, will help us identify the core causes in the system and fix it and make sure the system is monitored 24 hours. We are moving from traditional auditing into what we call continuous auditing, real-time auditing, to audit in real time. And because of that, using these solutions to be able to integrate it in our processes will require that our auditors be able to use AI solutions to help them automate so many of these processes. How many of you as auditors today, you are using ChatGPT? IIA, they published a very nice guide about how can you use the ChatGPT for you to be able to do much better work. Today you have so many tasks that you are doing, like writing the audit report, writing the recommendations, figuring out the root causes, analyzing so many information. But unfortunately, you are using ChatGPT in general way. For you to use the ChatGPT in an effective way, and I highly recommend you to download this guide to see exactly how you can use it as an auditor. It got so many good examples, but let me give you the main understanding. The main understanding to use ChatGPT is all about three things. It's about number one, what we call acting as. You need to assign a role for ChatGPT. You need to say, ChatGPT, imagine you are internal auditor, or you are risk manager, or you are external auditor. So in that way, ChatGPT will answer you from that perspective. Also, give it more information. You are working in manufacturing company. You are operating in UAE, or you are operating in Saudi Arabia, in UK. You are operating in that domain. Give it more information so it will be able to play the proper role. So in that way, here are so many examples about what kind of role you can give it. The next thing, you need to give it the task, what you want ChatGPT to do. You want ChatGPT to analyze, to examine, to summarize. You need to tell it exactly what you want it to do. And you need to give it more details. So you say, for example, summarize it in this way, focus on this area. And after that, you need to tell the format, how you want ChatGPT to give you the format. For example, you say, give me 10 main risks the organization is facing. And by the way, as internal auditor, you can do that. I did this for big major organization. They told me, Iyad, we need to know the 17 major risks that we are facing and how severe they are, what is the frequency of them, and give us some examples. So I told ChatGPT, imagine you are the risk manager inside this organization, working with the audit committee to be able to figure out the major risks. Then I want you to create and write for me the major risk related, see, you give more details, related to operation, related to compliance, related to IT. And I want you to summarize them in a way where you give me the major risk, you give me the likelihood of it, the impact, and how it's ranked in general. And I told it this, in the beginning, I told it which industry you are in, which organization you are in. Even I give it the name of the organization. And then it gave me examples. When I shared these documents with the actual organization, they were shocked. They asked me, which consultant you work with? I told them, yes, ChatGPT. That was my consultant. The funny thing is about the formatting. They really like the formatting, how it's structured properly. Because I told ChatGPT what type of formats I want. Don't write me a text created in certain format. So this is where you can say what format you want. You want it in a table, you want it in a list, you want it done in this way, that way, organized by bullet points. That will make sure that the information can be communicated more effectively. You don't have to copy, paste, and do the formatting yourself. Today, when we are speaking about fraud, the fraud that's happening inside our organization is happening all over our organization. We can see, there are so many things related to corruption, related to non-compliance, related to, asset misappropriation, related to financial statement fraud. And it happened in different divisions, in different ways. The schemes of fraud that happen inside our organization are massive. So the question here, are we going to do all this manually? Are we going to go and buy a system or do a manual audit for us to identify that? How can we defend our organization from insider and outsider fraud? The answer is very simple. By doing automation, by buying a system that will help us do the process in a more effective way. We are not going to do manual review anymore. We are not going to do manual verification anymore. We will buy systems. And there are so many systems that are available today, like this amazing solution. We call it, a vocal platform. This amazing solution, which is automated AI solution that can help you do everything. That can help you do the verification, that can help you do the consumer due diligence, that can help you do the AML verification, can help you in preventing fraud and figuring out any other financial insider related to your operation. It will do it by integrating its operation with your core operation. You can integrate the API together, so in that way you are doing testing in real time. We are not going to anymore have a system where after the fact we are going to look at it. We are going to do it in real time. And this is where we look at it. We look at all the types of things, testing that we can do. We can look at account takeover. We can look at multiple points deduction. We can look at phishing attack for our employees. Someone using device emulation to access our system from different devices. Or multiple account abuse. There are so many kind of configuration. You can do it in system in real time to monitor and get the result immediately, rather than after the fact you are going to discover it or you are going to do it manually. We are living in the age of AI. The same way cyber criminals, cyber wolves, they are using AI to do the crime. We as organization, we need to use technology. We need to use advanced system using AI to be able to stop these attacks from happening. In that case, the role of internal auditor changed from doing traditional auditing to actually moving now to do what more data-driven auditing, using AI, using big data. So in that way, this will help auditor do more automation, will help auditor do much better analytics by examining large number of data, and at the same time using artificial intelligence to help us in going out and figuring out the actual deficiency and the fraud cases that we need to focus on. It will make our audit faster, more automated, in real time, and much better and cheaper. So the question here, Are you as an auditor using AI to be able to do better testing? But also, are you using your auditing to audit the AI that your organization are creating? Today, your organizations are providing all these AI solutions to their customers. And what we are afraid from as auditors, that our top level executive, they are claiming that they have AI solutions, but the actual AI solutions they have, they are not real. They are not really functioning, but they claim they are functioning just to be able to please board of directors and to be able to please the investors and customers. So here, there's a very interesting guide published by II called How Can You as an Auditor Audit Artificial Intelligence? You can use the IIA Artificial Intelligence Auditing Framework, which will focusing on you as an auditor, going back to your organization to ensure your organization is not doing what we called AI washing. They are not providing fake AI claims. In this guide, they said, what you need to do, you need to focus on 3 pillars. You need to focus on AI strategy inside the organization, which is we call cyber resilience and AI competence. Make sure that your AI system is not hackable by hackers, by cyber wolves, and make sure you have the proper AI capabilities you are claiming you have. Number 2, you need to have the proper governance. Do you have the ability to provide proper data, quality data? You are not providing biased data. Make sure you have the proper data architecture and infrastructure. And make sure you measure the performance to make sure that this system is operating as it should be. And finally, focus on the human factor. Are we providing the decisions based on an ethical way? There are no biases in the algorithm. And at the same time, what about the black box? This system who is making decision, are they explaining the reason why they rejected or accepted, or they denied someone, or they are making decision without us understanding the system behind it? So in that way, that can create an issue because maybe the algorithm is wrong. So these are the areas that we need to focus on as an auditor to audit the AI system that our organizations are using to ensure that cyber criminals are not going to use it against us and to ensure it's working properly to make the proper decisions. So how can you do this as an auditor? Just to give you an example, you can go to governance and you can say, how can we go and advise the board? Remember, we can operate on an auditing role or advisory role, assurance or advisory. So we can go and say, how can we speak with the board of directors to ensure they have the proper AI matrix, to make sure they measure it later in the proper way, to make sure they implement it correctly. Also, how can we go and do testing over the system to ensure it will handle large amount of data, so the system will not break down if massive attack happen against it. And then we can communicate the result to the board. Or we look at the human factor. How can we ensure that this system is actually not biased? This system is actually ethical, providing the right information, is not actually manipulating the information in a certain way because of the algorithm in it. Or how can we go and ensure that this system is not a black box? Is explaining the decision and we are reviewing the algorithm to make sure it's making the decision based on the proper factors. There are so many things as auditors we can go do to examine the system to ensure the system is doing the proper work. Our role inside the organization, not only to protect the organization from fraud, but to protect our customers, our vendor, our investors, the board of directors from any fake AI claims that our executives are saying just for them to appear they are actually achieving the goals and they are moving with the AI hype wave that we are moving in today. Also, for you as an IT auditor, you can go and test the AI system to make sure that from IT perspective is actually working properly. Remember, for us as auditor, we don't have understanding of the AI system. But as ISACA guide said, auditing artificial intelligence for you as an information security information technology officer, you can go and check the system to make sure that they have the proper technology, to make sure they are following the right strategy, to make sure they have managing the innovation in proper way. So it's not a temporary solution they are creating or a fake demo they are showing to the customer, but it's actually an actual system operating in reality. So what is our main objective as auditor, as fraud examiner, as IT auditor? We have 3 main objectives. Number 1, to ensure that our AI system is in compliance with our rules and processes. So in that way, everything is done properly, legally. Number 2 is to ensure that we have the technical safety. The system is working, providing the right technical solution to our customers, employees, but they are not actually harming any of our employees, vendors, customers. And finally, to ensure we have a proper ethical system So the system is not biased, is not denying or accepting individuals based on any kind of factors that are violating human privacy or human rights. So this is the main objective. But for us as an auditor, we can go back and audit what we call the algorithm. We can look at the organization and say, the algorithm that you have inside the organization, how can we make sure the process is done correctly? So do we have this model program based on the right process? And do we have the right model analyzing the information and getting us the right results? Are we giving this model the proper data? Are we going examining the output to make sure the same output we are expecting from the system, the model is generating? And at the same time, are we adjusting the parameter? What kind of input we want the system to give? Because with the ChatGPT, they did this. They adjusted the model to ensure if you tell ChatGPT, how can I go and do a hack? ChatGPT will say sorry. You tell ChatGPT, can I do a crime? ChatGPT will say sorry. Can you give me personal information? ChatGPT will say sorry. So we need to change the system to put some kind of restriction on the system. Otherwise, the ChatGPT can go out of control, or any AI system can go out of control. So we need to have a guardrails on these AI systems. And we need to make sure we look at the learning objective. What are we trying to do to make sure this system will not only give us the right result we need, but also will learn from previous transaction and advance itself. And finally, focusing on the white box. It's very important for us to implement a solution where this solution are explaining to us the reason they came up with to deny or accept someone. Today, for us as an auditor, we need to implement what we call digital twin. What's the meaning of digital twin? Before the organization will go create a car, create a product, create a washing machine, create a solution or a service, we can go use artificial intelligence to create artificial environment where this organization, they can create the project, they can test it, they can examine it, and they implement any kind of AI solution with it. So in that way, we examine the product in real life without actually launching that product, to see any kind of issues, any kind of weaknesses where cyber criminals can attack, any kind of weaknesses in the controls in that solution, or any kind of technical issues before we launch it in reality. This is how the world is moving. Auditors, they should not come and audit the service and product after the facts. Auditors, they should be working with the management to be able to go and implement digital solution using AI to be able to audit the product in advance, pre-audit using AI rather than after the fact. Don't be like Apollo 13, where after they launch Apollo to the space, they discover we have an issue and they use the mimic version of Apollo 13 on Earth to mimic exactly what's happening on Apollo 13 to bring our astronauts safe to Earth. We need today to do it in a digital world to examine it before we launch it to the space, and then we are living in a crisis. Our auditors need to ensure that also we create what we call the proper culture inside our organization. We need to tell our executive, our employees, that it's not acceptable for you to achieve success by doing fraud. If our technologies are not working, if our solutions are not providing these AI technological advances, we can go on stages like what some of these big tech company, and they show you a demo to discover later that actually is only a video recording, is a fake demo. We should not go and promote an AI solution that are not working or label anything we create as AI just to be able to get interest from investors, to get interest from customers to buy our product, and to show that we are an AI-enabled company. AI is here to stay, but we need to make sure we don't provide fake claim and do AI washing. We should succeed by admitting our failure and recognizing our success. Thank you so much for everyone for attending this session. I hope this gave you an overview about how cyber criminals, cyber wolves are attacking our organization and what you need to do as cyber warriors to stop them from taking advantage of your weaknesses and attacking your AI system. Remember, cyber wolves are not always outside the organizations. Sometimes cyber wolves are these criminals who are hiding inside your organization, waiting for the right time to attack. So your job is to protect your organization and make sure we always achieve success with honor, not with a fraud. Until next session, subscribe to my YouTube channel and I will see you in our next anti-fraud round.